Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. And peace be upon you wherever you are in the world. I'm Farhad Omar, and this is another episode of Reflections in Faith. Today, I want to speak about something that affects all of us, regardless of where we come from or what we believe in: desire and the emptiness it often leaves behind. Let me ask you all something. Have you ever gotten exactly what you wanted, only to feel like it wasn't enough? A better job, a bigger house, a faster car, even recognition. But after the initial high wears off, you find yourself wanting something else, something more. That constant craving, that unrest, is not just personal, it becomes societal. Nations behave in the same way. Corporations behave the same way. And when everyone's chasing, hoarding, consuming, trust disappears. We start doubting each other's intentions. We begin to isolate ourselves. We compete when we should cooperate. We fear when we should reflect. Islam teaches that we are not meant to live like this. We were not created to be slaves to our desire. The Holy Qur'an says, "Have you seen the one who takes his desires as God?" In Surah Al-Furqan, verse 43. And that's a powerful question. When desire becomes our master, when our entire sense of worth is based on what we consume, what we wear, what we own, or what we post online, we've actually submitted, but not to Allah. We've submitted to the self. There's a beautiful concept in Islam called Fitrah, the natural disposition every human being is born with. It's a built-in inner compass. It draws us towards truth, justice, and mercy. It makes us feel uneasy when we lie. It stirs our conscience when we hurt someone. The fitrah is already inside you. You don't need a religion to feel it. You only need to stop long enough and listen. But here's the challenge. The modern world makes it almost impossible to slow down. We are bombarded every day with noise. Ads telling us we are not enough unless we buy this. Influencers telling us to chase a dream that isn't even ours. Algorithms feeding us distraction after distraction. So the fitrah gets buried. Buried under anxiety. Buried under self-doubt. Buried under a mountain of wants. Personally, I've been there too. I've worked in industries that reward speed, not stillness. I've experienced what it's like to climb a ladder only to realize it was leaning against the wrong wall. But every time I came back to silence, through prayer, through Qur'an, through reflection, there was peace. Not the kind you get from a weekend getaway. I'm talking about real peace. The kind that reminds you who you are when no one's watching. Now let me speak directly to those who don't identify as Muslims. We Muslims are taught not to impose our faith. The Qur'an is very clear. Lakum dinukum waliya din. To you your religion and to me mine. In Surah Al-Kafirun, verse number 6. So no, I'm not here to preach or convert, but I am here to invite you to reflect. Because when you strip away titles, rituals, and institutions, we are all human. We all feel the weight of restlessness. We all carry unanswered questions. So I ask you, why do we chase things that never satisfy? What would happen if we stopped running? What if the very peace we are searching for is buried under our unchecked desires? Let me leave you with this thought. Islam at its core is not just a religion of rituals. It's a path to realignment, a path that doesn't shame your humanity, but it refines. A path that teaches us to control our desires instead of being controlled by them. The Prophet Muhammad ﷺ didn't teach people to pray. He taught them to live with purpose, to treat others with dignity, to speak truth even when it's unpopular. And most of all, to remember that this life is short but meaningful. So what can we do today to begin reclaiming that lost peace? Start small. Take 5 minutes of silence before your day begins. Turn off the noise, reflect. Ask yourself, what am I really chasing? And more importantly, why? Muslim or not, that moment of inwardness is where healing begins. The world doesn't need more noise. It needs more people who've made peace with themselves. And that begins with returning to the Fitrah. May Allah guide us all to what is pure, protect us from the deceit of our own desires, and grant us peace in this life and the next. This has been Reflections in Faith with me, Farhad Omar. If this episode resonates with you and stirred something in your heart, please share it. Reflect on it and come back next week as we continue the journey together. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And peace be upon you.